Alrighty, guys, we're going to go over this weather research project that we'll be working on probably until late next week. This is a weather research project. Go ahead and write your name, hour, type of weather that you're choosing. If you're not sure about the type of weather, you can always wait on that. I do not have a due date for you yet because I do want to talk with your writing teacher, so you can leave that blank for now. Which type of project are you doing? You can circle one if you know right off the bat what you want to do. If you're not sure yet, you can always wait. Maybe you're choosing PowerPoint, maybe you're making a digital brochure, or you're doing a digital poster, which would pretty much be like Microsoft Word, and you're just pasting pictures and text boxes. So you're not actually making a large poster, you're just making a version of a poster, a smaller version through Microsoft Word or another app if you know one. The types of weather that you can choose one, and I would circle the one that you're choosing or underline the one you're going to choose on your packet. So some options are tornado, hurricane, blizzard, dust storm, thunderstorm, flash flood, which is the result of weather, heat wave, drought, tropical storm, ice storm, or if you'd like to research rainbows, which is a new one this year. If you would like to research something not listed, it must be approved by the teacher prior to starting your research. So if there's something that's not on there that you're thinking of, that's fine. You can just raise your hand and you can ask me, but it must be approved first because some things it's hard to find research on. And I want to make sure that I've got the tools for you to do your best. Going on, number 1, task. Research a weather topic. Take accurate notes and create a detailed PowerPoint presentation, digital brochure, or digital poster with the information you have discovered. So make sure that you are taking notes. You must take notes and you must create your PowerPoint. You will be graded on your project and on your notes. Upon completion, you will present your project to your classmates. If you have another idea for your presentation, please ask your teacher. You'll actually be doing your presentations in your communication arts class, not in science. Number 2, requirements. Your project must explain each of the following. First of all, you must have a hypothesis. So this is what you think causes your weather topic. Let's say, for example, that you are choosing rainbows. You would say, I think rainbows are caused by blank because blank. So you might have to change, you can change your sentence stem, or maybe you say, I think blank, you tell me what causes and then causes rainbows because blank. So tell me what you think causes it and why you think that. You can use this sentence stem, but if you have another way of explaining it, that's fine. Just raise your hand and I can help you with that. Why did you choose this topic? Atmospheric factors, what causes it? So what actually causes your type of weather that you're researching? So what actually causes rainbows or what causes blizzards? You would now tell me a little bit. This is where you bring in some of that weather information that we've learned in this unit before we left for winter break. What needs to be set up? What needs to happen? What is the recipe to create the type of weather that you are talking about? Where does your type of weather happen? Is it in certain types of climates? Is it in certain areas? Do we notice it certain parts of the globe? Is it towards the equator, further from the equator? Where do we see your type of weather occur? And don't just list one place, try and list like any place that it could happen. Does your type of weather move? How does it move? When you're thinking about tornadoes and their movement, there is a certain way that they move. Or maybe we're talking about if you're talking about blizzards, like weather, how does it move? Does it move west to east? Where does your weather move or how does it move? One famous example. Tell me when, where, and what the effect was. It might be a famous example, for instance, if you're doing a flash flood. Maybe you're telling me about a flash flood that happened in Quincy, or if you're doing a certain type of rainbow, maybe, because it is hard to come up with a famous example of that. Maybe you're doing a famous blizzard that happened. It could be locally, or it could be one in history that's happened. You're going to tell me when it happened, where it happened, and what was the effect. Were there people who were injured from it? Were there people who passed away from it? What were the numbers? What happened because of your weather? You need to tell me 3 to 5 interesting facts. At least 2 pictures should be included. And a conclusion. Do you accept or reject? This is actually going to be now, I guess we would actually call this your reasoning. Do you accept or reject your hypothesis, which now is really what we more so call your claim? I am going to change those words. The claim. That's really what we refer to that now. You must cite your websites or books that you have used. You must use at least 3 different websites or books. You must follow proper MLA citation format, and it says you can see information from your communication arts teacher. So your communication arts teacher will go over that. Note, please make sure you understand your facts and vocabulary that you use on your project. Do additional research if needed to understand the required information. Facts that are clearly copied from the sources will not count. So you cannot just copy and paste. First of all, I can always tell when these are copy and pasted because they will usually have different font that's like very obvious, or kind of like some additional symbols. Also, the wording would be something that a 6th grader would not use, or I know that you're not familiar with. So make sure you don't have to include every part of it. You might just be summarizing what the information is or rewording it in your own wording. That's okay. Possible online resources, and you will want to circle the ones in your packet. You might want to highlight or might want to highlight this, circle the ones you use, because I am going to be looking in here to make sure that you have used these, and you want to be able to reference them when you're creating your actual project, because you do need to list those sites that you use. So you can click some of these or type some of these sites in. There are many more websites and books than just the ones that are listed. Feel free to use any good sources you find. Make sure you keep track of each website or book used, and you can list those sources here in your packet. Do not just Google search it. If you Google search, that's fine, but then you need to click the site that you found the information from. You cannot just list Google as your site. You need to include a list of your sources in your final project in MLA format. And again, your communication arts teacher will be the one to work with you on that, not just on this page. So all of this information needs to be in your project, not just your packet. My research, which is all of this information must be included in your final project. You want to list the type of weather in your project, why you chose the topic, your hypothesis, or I'm going to reword this actually as claim. If you'd like to change that in your packet, that would be great. Atmospheric factors or causes. So again, this is the recipe for what causes your type of weather. How does your weather move? Maybe how does it move across the globe, or does it circulate? Like how does your weather move? Where does it happen? This could be on the globe. This could be what climates. This could be related to the equator. A famous example, you do need to include that when, where, and what were the effects, other interesting facts, and your conclusion, or what we are saying is your reasoning. And again, we're going to say your claim. So tell me, accept or reject your claim and why. What was it that you learned? Do not forget to include 2 or more pictures in your final project, even though that is not listed here in the data table. Make sure you have those in your project. So at the bottom, you're going to notice that there are 2 parts to your extreme weather research rubric. So that is because the first half is actually going to be graded for science. The second half is going to be graded in your communication arts class. So half of your grade is for science, half of your grade is for communication arts. The first half is going to be more about the scientific aspects of your project. Your hypothesis, which I actually want to reword as claim. Feel free to change that on your packet. You formulate a claim that is specific based on some scientific concepts. So you're telling me exactly what you think causes your weather. You're not just saying because it's what I think. Make sure you're being specific. Why do you think that? Why does that make sense to you? Where did you see that? Have you, like, thinking in your head, do you know a different concept that relates to that? So to get a 4, you want to make sure that you're going above and beyond, you're being specific in your claim. For your required information, your product contains more than the required information. You're not telling me 3 facts, you're telling me the maximum 5 facts. For your detail and accuracy, all facts presented in the product are accurate and strongly support the topic. Details are clear and present an engaging connection to the topic. I have bolded some of these important words, but you might want to highlight those or circle those on your own. If you have any questions, please raise your hand and reach out to me. You can also private chat me with any questions you have. The bottom part of the rubric, your communication arts teacher will go over with you because that relates more to your communication arts class, and that will be the grade that goes towards that subject area, not science. Again, if you have any questions, please raise your hand. I would love to show you some examples at a later time, but I wanted to go through this with you.